here we are. Sorry, everybody out there. Technical difficulties going on over here. What is going on? I think we should be all right on the new one. Let me see. Um, just looking for the
Yeah.
feed. Yeah, looks like we are good now.
Is it on the
But
same one or is it
no,
like
it's
at a?
gonna be a whole new link. So
Okay, hold on.
my
Let me delete this old
apologies.
one so it doesn't fucking freak anyone out.
Yeah, apologies to everyone out there. Uh, this is what happens when you live stream, man. Sometimes you get issues that are beyond your control, and you just kind of got to roll with the punches. So here we are, rolling with the punches, and I think we're good now. Um, hopefully, we can get all the other viewers that were on the last stream over to this one,
Right.
and there we go. What up, Cram? What up, Doug a hole? How you doing? Morning. What the hell? I'm not late no more, says Cram Bella Cram. Welcome to the stream. Oh man. So, how was your weekend, Mr. Templar?
It was good. It went by fast. I was helping my landlord. She's cleaning the place out. She's got a new tenant coming in across the hall, and she's trying to sell the place. So fucking, she's getting shit out of the attic and the basement. So I did a
Hmm.
bunch of shit there, and I've done a bunch of painting for her around the place. Yeah, so it
Hmm.
went by fast. What about yours, buddy?
Oh, bro, I have been sick all freaking weekend, and it has not been fun. I'm still feeling it today. Man, I uh, I just can't keep anything down, man. And no matter what I do, it's just like it always wants to come back up. What's up,
Word.
Maya? Nice to see you today, sir. Well, yes. What's up, bro? But before we get too far into this, everyone
Yeah.
take some time and go over to the phone booth podcast.substack.com. Uh, all kinds of banging content up there. The boys, Bill and Ted, just put up an episode about time travel. I watched about the first half of it, and I'm telling you, it's another banger from them, dude. They always get out the good content. The episode with Dan Blue, shit, man, what another banger. And we got some here's the things are back up there now, and there's no more foreigners on the Substack. So isn't that nice to see? A nice, clean, streamlined website. Also, head on over to the Can Am Bullion. Ooh, look at Templar.
Is it up?
Silver is on the move, on the way up
Oh yeah, it
3.46%
is.
to $65. Gold jumping back up by 1.11% up to 4,391. Uh, looking good, dude. It's you're gonna want to, not be sitting on dollars. If the fit hits the shan, you don't want to be sitting on dollars. Go with
Dude,
something
gold is
that's
up $300.
yeah,
Remember, it was down to like staying right at like 4,000 and like 60, 4,030. It's up to 4,392 in 2 weeks. So it just went like almost 300, $400 over the last 2 weeks. Or
yep.
I think actually over the last week because we were on last week, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
so over the last week they both shot up. I wonder if that has something to do with the war and everything. But again, precious metals, dude, cam and bullion, dude. If
it's
you don't
because they just rolled out the new X cash card, dude. That's what it is, bro.
Yeah, speaking of
Dude,
that, let's talk about fucking X for a moment, brother.
please, please.
Okay.
I
So
mean, if I wasn't fucking already not feeling good enough, this is gonna make me feel even worse.
yeah. So a lot of you guys who are on X may already know that they changed the content creator payout system, right? So now they have a new standard, and if you were paid before, you got to re-sign up, and you got to meet their new qualifiers, right? And It's going to be really hard to hit even the new qualifier unless you're either a big boy or well established, because you need 500,000 views off of your main post. So something that you post
Verified.
directly. Yeah,
Verified.
you got to be verified, and you got to fucking post from your main thing, and then that's got to get a bunch of views, right? But the problem we all know on X is that they like to be the gatekeeper of the information, right? The site used to do a lot more. It used to feel a lot more free. It used to feel like we were making more of an impact, right? But as is the theme, all good things must get fucking destroyed, right? We were
Hmm.
talking about it before. Elon Musk is on record. You can Google this up. Okay, back in 2014 and prior, he wanted to de-anonymize the internet, which means that like my name on here would be like Templar, right? But on the back end, what he wanted is that fucking your name and everything was attached to your account. So my thesis, right, or my theory more so, is that everything about the original monetization system, right, was just a lure. It was phishing. And it was to get people to think that, yes, you too can have a seat at the table. You too are the new media. You too get a voice. Just give us the information. We're going to pay you to post. We're going to pay you to post. You're going to post, we're going to let your viewers see it. And slowly they just started fucking backing all that off, right? And they completely destroyed it. However, can you imagine how many IDs and information that they've been able to gather on this site? Because they do well selling the blue verified tag, right?
Hmm.
And so now they're just switching up the game. The other thing is it makes it hard for content creators. I'll give you an example. Let's say this podcast or the fucking Wednesday show or the Saturday show or any of the other shows go on. You got, if you're lucky, a 2 day shelf life to get your views. And if X doesn't push it in the beginning, we all know you're not going anywhere. You get fucking maybe 6 likes, if you're lucky, you get 1,000 views, but usually it's going to be something significantly smaller. Like they've they've funneled the information in a way that only the chosen select uh, get a voice anymore.
It's
And I
one
think with
big
the new
club and we ain't in it.
yeah, we sure the fuck ain't in it. I'm sure people like Nick Sorter and Eric Daughtry and people like this, they're going to continue to do fine, regardless of the information that they give you. Like I have most of these guys fucking unfollowed or
Yeah.
blocked or like, no, I don't want to hear their shit, and X still tries to fucking feed it to me. Like you can't get away from it. And then if you notice when you get on X, we were talking about this in the beginning, uh, before we came on here, is it's all the same stories and themes, right? Like they have certain narratives and stories that they want on the platform, but everything else can kind of go fucking die in a corner. It says 4.4 million verified accounts realm wide. Make that of what you will. Yeah, that's a lot of people. And let's say, so if let's say at minimum, right? Let's say like the majority of those are fucking the $8 a month thing, right? Times 4.4 million. They're doing good there. And then that doesn't even count fucking advertising on the platform. That doesn't count people who boost their fucking posts. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
they're
that's
making
just
money.
yeah. A lot of people are paying $40 a month.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what's funny about that? Because it's like, oh, you get a big reply boost. No, you don't. No, you don't, dude. You can have fucking premium plus, and you can catch like a fucking Ian Carroll fucking thing right in the very beginning, right? You could be one of the first fucking comments, and you're still only gonna get like 200 fucking views, right? Because the the algorithm, the all-knowing algorithm, knows better. The all-knowing algorithm's like, nah, people don't want to see your post. So why the fuck why do you represent that, right? Why do you present that as like that's a feature when it's clearly not at all, right? And there's no consistency on the site. Personally, I don't give a fuck about getting paid on this site because I gave up on it a while ago, right? Just because I saw the inconsistency. But the problem is, I see people who have been fully invested and they're still fully invested and they spend hours upon hours making content just for it to go nowhere. And I can understand that because, somebody else can just like fucking screen cap somebody else's shit, still post it up, and, they get fucking, 100,000 views, 35,000 views, whatever. You could spend 8 hours putting a video together to throw it online and fucking, get 100, 200, 300 views. So I could see how that's like demoralizing, right? And I, I, I don't know, dude. The site isn't fun anymore, dude. It's not. Like, I
Oh,
believe that if you're on Facebook, if you're on fucking YouTube, odds are you're gonna do better. I would bet that even Instagram at this point would be fucking better. But this site is where accounts go to die unless you're part of the fucking chosen or you're willing to like spit out, like the Fed slop, just kind of you're not going anywhere. They'll
yeah.
put you in a fucking box in a corner.
So, speaking of being put in the corner, let me share my post from yesterday, um, showing my follows over the last year. September of last year, I had 10,500 something followers, almost 10.6. As of today, I have just over 10.3. So the last year, I'm down followers.
Yep.
And I mean, look at how the graph, it just fucking dies.
Yep. And you know what? Uh,
How,
you're not alone because Biff Don, right? He
yeah.
has the same thing going on with his fucking account. He posts up on it. I can show you, like shit like that. That was happening. Like it's consistent. This is something that's it's platform wide, right? Which is
Hmm.
fucking horrible, dude. Because you spend so much time on here, dude. You run fucking what, two, three different fucking podcasts that you're constantly on. You're always out there hustling. You're putting in the time to grab and get guests to put topics together, right? Like there's a lot of work. Thank you, John. Uh,
What
there's a
up,
lot of work
Johnny Paradise? What's up, brother?
that gets put into a podcast. Like a lot of people think, oh, you can just come on or whatever. I mean, you can, but you're not going to have anything to talk about unless there's an interesting subject. And like you put in the time, you hope for a fair fucking chance at communicating to your audience, but not if X
So,
has anything to do with
so,
it.
so you mentioned here at the beginning that you now need 500,000 verified impressions from your home timeline. And
Correct.
so there's another detail about this, that when we do like these live streams like this, if somebody goes over to the live section, live on X section of, whatever you're on, desktop or the phone or whatever, and you go click on it, that's not counted as a home timeline impression. Okay, so that means if Blue Montauk right here goes and clicks on that, and these comments we get no credit for, what's the
Yep,
point of even going live anymore? I'm
dude.
better off. I'm better off just posting the long form video and getting the impressions from my home timeline. I,
Dude,
you
I
know,
wish I had Allie's post because she spoke to it beautifully, dude. Like, I really wish I had that fucking post to pull up.
and another fucking problem with X is a lot of comments don't show up.
Yep. Dude, yeah, that's how you know you're suppressed. When you put something, because the most valuable time for comments is the first 2 hours, right? So when you get them and you respond to them, that shows engagement and the algorithm's supposed to push it. But the problem is, just like you said, the comments won't show up until like fucking 2, 3 hours later, right? And by that time, now it's already, I was about to hit 40K and they took exactly 2K from me to knock me down. There are many accounts hovering just below 40K. Yeah, absolutely. So you're going to notice, and I've found a theme. Like, Snoop is in the first realm. So somewhere in the realm of 10.4 and 10.9, uh, they're going to hold you back, right? And then right before you get to fucking 20,000, when you're in your 19 fours, 19.5, somewhere like that, you're going to see another hold back because 20,000 is kind of like another tier, right? It kind of opens the way the algorithm presents you automatically, right? Like it's built in. So they gatekeep that shit, right? The more people they can take away from you, it ensures that you're not going to escape the algorithm, right? And the only way to combat that is with an influx of people who like your shit. But if X won't show your shit out consistently, how do you get that influx? You
Yeah.
can't, right? You're fighting an uphill battle while somebody's fucking rolling boulders down at you. It becomes a an impossible feat. You're just swimming against the tide.
It really is. I I have a tenth of the followers that I have on X on Facebook, and I get more views on Facebook than I do on X. Now,
Yeah,
I mean, it helps if some like a big account like such as Ted, shares my shit. That helps a bit. But without that, it's pathetic to have 10,000 followers and you can only hit 200 people.
that's fucking crazy,
What
right?
I mean, what am I even doing?
Yeah,
Like,
dude,
I
I'm
mean,
with
that's
you.
just ridiculous. You know?
I think a lot of people are feeling that. And I think that you know, Nikki fucking Bower, the fucking little pig dude who just got fucking yeeted from X, I'm sure that's part of what he was sent there to do, was kind of build that back end fucking system. I have
Yep.
over 12K followers and average 100 to 200. They don't
Yep.
show my posts to anyone.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, and I feel that, damn. The last post to slip past Algo got 1,000 shares in less than 12 hours. That capped at 37,000 views. Yeah, dude. Then I literally just told you. Remember on the back end when I said about getting 1,000 shares? And what
Yep.
they do is, instead of letting that go out authentically, they cap it so it's like for every share, not even like, for every share, they'll like give it 10 more impressions to view out. And then if that fucking goes, you get 10 more. Think about that. 1,000 shares, and he capped out at 37,000 views. So that means
Yeah.
he got 3 point something uh, views per every every share.
And on top of all of that, they don't want to show reposts anymore.
Yeah, dude, it's broken. The whole fucking thing is broken, and the only real way to deal with it is either, like a mass exodus or enough people to fucking band together and get rid of their fucking blue check marks and fucking leave this site for a bitch. Because you're gonna have to talk with your fucking wallet, right? Like, and I don't even know if that'll be enough, right? Because X serves the purpose that it's here to serve, but it's not fair. The whole "you are the media now" is fucking hot garbage, right? They give the mic to the most retarded, corrupt fucking people, right? People that can't do anything, and that's where it stays. Back in the day, for as shit as the mainstream media was, right? At least your local media was somewhat good. They did investigative journalism. They fucking fought companies in court to, get video. You know what I mean? Like there was shit going. Now the little guy has no wallet. When you get fucked, who's standing up for you? Well, you're the media now. Okay, but you got no reach. You got no reach. Go be the media in that fucking corner with the 100 views that you get. And mind you, the 100 views aren't even necessarily people who tapped in, but people that it's screened by. I've been enjoying your podcast. Thank you. We all appreciate that, dude. That's awesome. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, they say, they want to make this the platform for content creators. Well, guess what? I'm doing, let's see, like 11 to 12 hours a week of original content. And where's my
But
reward? I get fucked.
yeah, of course.
I nobody sees my fucking posts.
Well, you're not
It's
one of the
just,
chosen.
I mean, dude, when I had fucking 3,000 followers, I used to get paid from X, dude. Like, I mean, and I get that, back then it was different. They counted, replies in their counts and whatnot. And It's just like the problem is they keep moving the goalpost. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And then you have things happen like, bro, I got flagged one time for a post I made. It was raining in Arizona. And so like the caption was how it's raining in Arizona. And there's a picture of a trash can full of used wiper blades. It's so fucking dry out here that we never use them and they dry the fuck out. So when it does rain, you got to get a new pair.
Yeah.
Algorithm flagged it for hate speech.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Hate speech. How the
Hate
fuck
speech.
is
Oh,
that hate speech?
windshield wipers got fucking hate in them, full of hate.
Yeah. I
It's so
I
stupid.
want to address Bueller Dam's thing. He's got a really long response here. It says, so when I do an urgent tornado post, they take 20 to 30 minutes to upload a 30-second video. And comparatively, on other WX guys, they don't call it what it is. We get over 10,000 views in the first 15 minutes, and I'll get like 200 over a lifetime. That's an urgent tornado warning that can save lives, but they continue to censor me anyways.
Damn,
Dude,
that's fucking crazy.
dude,
So I can't believe that it takes 20 to 30 minutes for a 30-second clip to upload.
yeah.
What the fuck? Why? Is it like scanning the content to see if it's you know, uh,
Dude, I uploaded a Candace thing and it fucking hit it. I couldn't even find it. It took it a long time to upload. And then fucking when I went to like look for it to check in on it, how it was doing, it wasn't even on my timeline, wasn't on my fucking replies. Just
okay.
gone.
You got to
Go over
go
to
to
the
the
other
other
group.
grove to get in the club. Yeah. Okay. The problem in that grove is there's a 20 fucking year waiting list, and it costs like fucking 100 grand just to get into it.
Right. And you already gotta be fucking, like tapped,
Right? Right?
It's
Oh,
unfortunate. You know the thing that frustrates me the most is because X will be like, oh, make better content. Do you know how many times I've made something or I put something on there and then mine went nowhere and then somebody takes my thing and then post it and then I'll see them with like fucking 100, 200,000 fucking views.
okay.
And it's the most frustrating thing because if that content was so great for that person, why wasn't it when I put it up? You know what I mean? Well, it's because they get you fucking gate and it's time and time and time. It's such a broken system. It's only my urgent ones that or something where I've caught something on the radar. They really don't want me to share. No, I feel you, dude. I think that's one of the horrible things about X is you could literally break fucking news on something extremely important. You know what I mean? Like you could have the second gunman from the fucking grassy knoll. Like you could doesn't matter and put that shit on X and X will just be like, nope, nope.
How
Like
about
what?
if you use the term breaking news, you get fucking flagged.
Right, right, right.
You're
Yeah,
not allowed to
dude.
say that anymore. Remember, Dom Luker went fucking crazy, saying this is not breaking news, not breaking news. He was making fun of it though, for like a couple weeks.
But
And
you can say boom and wow and oh my god and some expletive that they fucking use to death and time again. Like that's not a problem. But breaking news for actual breaking fucking news. Sorry to interrupt.
Twitter became
Twitter
Twitter because
became
you could go use the index to find people uploading info on actual breaking news. The index is gamed as well. Yeah, that's a very good point.
yes.
And dude, I was demonetized for 6 or 7 months and never told why. They never given me a reason. No kind of support, from them at all. I just got an email 6, 7 months later saying you've been reinstated. Never told what the issue was. It's like, dude, if you're gonna have these fucking rules, tell us what they are.
Right. Right. Let us work within the confines. But
Ugh.
dude, even if you look at like the X terms and conditions, like they're so just fucking overly vague, right? They're like we have rules against glorifying violence or whatever, this and that, and sometimes it's fine. Sometimes you see Elon will even come out, or people will be like, yeah, if like pedophiles should be fucking dead or whatever, right? And they're okay with that sometimes. Other times, they'll use a statement like that to fucking crack down on you, right? Other times, it could just be something like, good, he deserved it. And they'll be like, glorifying violence. We've restricted this. You can look at my analytics from the last year. They've intentionally kept me below monetization impression.
So, dude, I'm right there with you, Bueller. Because do you know that I have almost a million video impressions that I have not been paid for? On top
Oh,
of
I
that,
believe it.
it's another 5-6 million impressions on top of the video ones, and that counts. That doesn't count any of the live streams. That's just video views, from clips and other shit that I post. Like,
Northern
what?
Study hit 3,000 off Twitter and they threw me off. I've tried and they won't help.
Yeah,
Gotta love the free speech fucking platform.
yeah, you gotta love it. So I mean, should we get into uh our first topic here? Because I mean, I think it kind of goes in line with what we're saying about you know um, some of the hate
Being in
speech
the
and stuff
club.
that gets promoted online. I mean, most of the Perez Hilton videos have been removed from the platform. I was thinking about playing a few seconds of it. I don't want to fuck with it just because I don't know if they'll shut the stream down. I mean, I've already had one stream taken down in the last week. I don't need another one.
Really?
Yeah, fucking Facebook pulled a stream down. It was the pick is in, and after about 50 something minutes, never said why, and I appealed it and won, and then they put the video back up, but it's still missing the last 2 hours of the stream from it. If
That's
you're gonna shut my shit down, tell me what the problem is.
right.
You know?
Or have a way where, you actually have an opportunity to respond to it, right? Like, hey, dude, this is a fucking sports podcast. Like, what is bad about this? In your case, you appealed it, you won, but it was so late that the damage has already been done, right? And it's because
Hmm.
everything's on fucking AI, and AI
Yeah.
fucking flags stupid shit. On Discord, uh, AI will flag a grid as CSAM. Did you know that? If you're on Discord and you put up a grid, it'll flag that as CSAM and they'll
What the hell's
ban your account.
what's CSAM?
Child sexual, you know,
Oh, why? What the
yeah.
fuck is that?
I, because the grid breaks AI. It does something. It breaks the fucking AI. So now they're trying to figure out how to stop it or whatever. Like there's plenty of people on YouTube who have made videos and shit about it, but yeah, like there's things that trigger AI, that are things that you would never think of. It's kind of like a video game, right? Like a simple thing can fucking break the game. Well, AI has those same fucking bugs, but they don't have anyone in the background. There's no customer support. So when you get hit with an unvalid takedown or whatever, for you to be able to like push back on it.
My 9/11 testimony from the Pentagon gets things shut down very quickly across multiple platforms. I bet it does.
I'm sure of it.
So,
Yeah.
Perez Hilton this week. Did you see the video?
No, I saw like like the clips or the still caps of it or whatever, where he's sitting there, all bloody. But that was the
So,
extent of what I saw visually.
so I'm not sure what day it was, but it was one day last week, and Perez Hilton went live on TikTok and just started cutting himself all up, cutting his face, cutting his chest, and he's doing this with a big knife right on the screen, and it's really demonic looking and nasty looking. And then obviously somebody reported the stream, and then the cops were called and came and went and got him. Um, it looked like ritualistic of some sort. I mean, here we got this post from B Flat showing that it was depicted a similar type thing was depicted in a Ariana Grande video. So we got Ariana Grande right there. I believe that's what's her name?
God
The other
bless.
singer. I can't remember her name. Rihanna,
Beyonce. Oh yeah, Rihanna
em-
next, and then
Eminem. Um, I don't know who all these people are because I'm out the loop. But um, and this guy, I guess, just got out of rehab, just not too long before this. Um, uh,
I
it's
also heard so with the video that he was doing, it was a live stream.
hmm
Um, so whoever it was, fucking Facebook or no, I think it was on Instagram, right? Didn't he? Wasn't it like live on Instagram or TikTok that
I,
he
I
went
think
on?
it was TikTok, I believe.
So he does it there, but there's a lot of fucking kids, I guess, that are watching. So not only do they not fucking kill that when it goes, but they allow a bunch of fucking children to watch it. And it's not until after everything happens and after there's a bunch of backlash on them allowing that, then all of a sudden they want to take everything down, right? Then all of a sudden it's like, let's cover our ass. Allegedly, that uh, blood ritual means the former person dies and then get taken over by a. Yeah. So actually, before we go, so in alchemy, there's a system. Okay, it's the process of destroying the old and rebuilding to a new. Right. There's a whole process. So you have the blackening, which they call the negrado. Right. That's when something's killed by fire and it's purified. Right. You destroy the item through blackening and you purify it. The next thing is Alberto, the whitening, right? So that's the actual uh, uh, results of the purification, right? Like the virgin thing. Then you got it's called citriantes, which is the yellowing, which is considered the awakening, right? And then the red is called the rubedo, and that means the reddening or the completion or the rebirth. Okay, so when you see somebody like Billie Eilish or Ellis, whatever the fuck her name is, and like she's relatively new and she's surrounded in all that fucking black goo, right? Like that's the Negrado, right? That's the start of the alchemic transformation, and the ending is the it's kind of like the butterfly coming out of the cocoon, right? Like Ariana Grande right there. This is, people are like, oh, is she going to die? No, no, no. This is just saying that she's made it. She's completed the process. She has made it through. She is transformed. That's what all this is about. And then with our boy Perez Hilton, right? I don't know if you were a Batman fan, but back in the day, I used to read all the Batman comics because that was my boy. And
Nerd
there's a
alert!
dude,
Nerd alert!
right? That's right. And there's a dude on there. His name is like Zaza or Zanzan. It's a weird fucking spelling, right? And it just repeats. But it's basically this white dude with blonde hair who's practically naked, and all he has is cuts in his arms of fives, right? All over his body. And it's because he's a prolific serial killer, and every time he gets a victim, he just puts another notch, right? Well, that is a that is a theme, not the murdering aspect of it, but the cutting and the marking and the mini cuts on the body. That is a ritual done by a certain group that I'm not going to say on here just so we don't get in trouble, but you can imagine it. If you think the answer is yes, it's probably exactly who you're thinking, right? And this is a personal atonement to Baal, right?
hmm
So one could argue that Perez Hilton was at the end of his transformation process, and on top of that, that he was showing a self dedication ritual to Baal, right? And that's what the multiple cuts is all about. Like I bleed for you because there's life in the blood, right? Like the power is in the blood. These people believe that, completely. So that I just wanted to give that a little backs or insight onto that stuff. So when you see this stuff, it makes a little more sense to you. Now the video we're about to watch, I don't know this French dude, but he makes fucking amazing videos. He
Yeah.
knows his shit. He puts in his research. Um, And we pulled this one together because it does a good job of explaining the symbolism of what's going on. Um, so
All right, let's check it out.
Hey, Ariana Grande here, and this is what's in my bag. Check it out.
Si l'élite nous expose ouvertement ses pratiques, c'est pour qu'on fasse partie du rituel. Ariana est une offrande, c'est pour ça que dans son dernier clip, le sang coule sur ce tableau. Les cowboys, c'est l'industrie, qui capture Ariana pour l'exploiter. C'est aussi un baptême de sang façon taurobolium, avec une tête de taureau aussi présente ici, et les lettres BA, comme balle. 3 jours après la sortie du clip, Perez se mutile en live sur TikTok.
Why am I not dead yet?
Pour amplifier le sacrifice. Les prêtres de Baal se tailladaient avec des couteaux pour appeler leur dieu. Et au même moment, Prime annonce la série Carrie, tirée de Stephen King. Carrie, c'est l'archétype, humiliation publique et le sang versé. Un rituel qui se rejoue en boucle dans la culture populaire. La mort symbolique de la star, et puis le feu qui vient purifier pour faire renaître une nouvelle version. Comme cette fleur plantée par l'élite. On retrouve les mêmes codes partout. Jenna Ortega, humiliation, bain de sang. Jaden Smith, même logique. Parce que ces enfants ne décident de rien. Ce sont des esclaves de l'industrie qui servent tous le même culte. Le dernier clip de Katy Perry nous montre un double qui lui sort du dos. Et la purification par le feu. On avait les mêmes visuels dans les clips de Billie Eilish. Et dans le film Substance, une femme s'injecte un produit pour créer un alter qui encore une fois lui sort du dos. Et l'ancien corps est exposé comme un déchet public. Parce que le but de l'élite est de monter une star et ensuite de la jeter en spectacle. Exactement le même scénario que dans Pétale. Donc si Ariana est en très mauvaise santé, c'est voulu et même amplifié. Comme les anciens rituels, le sacrifice de la célébrité doit être médiatisé pour rappeler à tout le monde qui détient vraiment le pouvoir.
Yeah, I don't know that dude's name either, but he does put out a lot of good videos.
yep.
That
And if
French,
you
that French
take the
guy.
time to like watch his shit and like look up what he's talking about, it's always backed up. It's legit. The other part is just like you said, the kids are the target. She was on Disney. Kids grow up with her, idolize her, and then they take the dark turn and they take all those fans with them. You fucking nailed it, dude. You nailed it. Great job. Absolutely. All the Disney stars, the Nickelodeon stars, that's what this is all about, right? You drag them through and corrupt them along the way. Fucking what was the other chick? Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus, and all that, right? Um, it's the common fucking theme. Disney is the vehicle for that, right? And Disney has been mentally fucking people back since the days of Bambi. Okay, Bambi was created, right? Like Bambi, the main purpose of Bambi was to start gun control, right? That was the main fucking purpose, was to traumatize children. That, oh my god, the big man with the gun killed the poor deer. Bambi's left all alone. You know, how
How
does
does
one get
one
on?
get onto a podcast to discuss topics such as this? Do either of you host Twitter Spaces? I am never on Spaces. I personally just don't like them. But feel free to send me a DM, Flat Earth Life, and we'll talk
Yeah,
about it more.
yeah. Or even if you want to fucking come up near the end or something and talk, we'll give you some floor time. I'm not
Sure.
against that. You know,
Yeah.
like we want everyone to have a fucking voice. We may not have the largest one at phone booth, but one thing that Ted has been, solid on. Like anytime I'm like, hey, yeah, dude, it's all about giving people a voice. So, like it's an open offer. We can just send you a link and you can come up and you can communicate or ask questions or whatever, like open
Yeah.
invitation.
Yeah. If you send me a DM, I will send you a link. So yeah, hit me up. Um, dude, why? I don't even know why people want to become famous or celebrity anymore. I mean, like it seems like an awful lot of hell to pay for a reward that's, I mean, what's the reward? A little bit of money?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Money and the fame and all the access that comes with it, right? The the powers of the flesh, right? Like the cardinal desires of the flesh. You can get sex. You can have money, so you can buy things. You can get access to places and things, right? Like so. But the problem is that it's that illusion, right? It's kind of like when people play the lottery. People play the lottery and they're like, "It's these are my fucking lucky numbers. It's gonna work for me. I have a chance." And it's like, dude, you don't have a fucking snowball's chance in hell at winning the lottery, and you really don't have a snowball's chance at hell at becoming famous really on your own, right? Like it happens, but it is the exception. It is not the norm. Usually you have to come up through their system. Usually you find these celebrities are related to other celebrities, to fucking politicians. You know, there's always something that pulls their parents were fucking a celebrity. You know what I mean? And they don't always, they give you like a narrative too for these people. You know, right? Unless you're Jeffrey Epstein.
So what's funny is I was just thinking about mentioning this that if you go on Google Maps and you type in SpongeBob SquarePants address, do you know where it takes you?
Dude, yeah, I saw that. That's fucking crazy. Go.
Epstein Island.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah, yeah. Isn't that crazy?
And this is a little off topic, but you mentioned lottery, and Cram was
Mhm.
saying then you win the lottery a bunch.
Right?
So I watched this documentary of this guy who used some kind of crazy mathematical analytics to figure out that you could, in fact, rig the lottery. And he had like certain staples that had to be met, and so he found one. I forget what state it was, maybe Virginia or West Virginia, something maybe. And he figured out that using his method, and it took a team of people. He couldn't obviously do it
Right.
by himself, and it did cost a few $1 million to run. But he did it all, and sure as shit, he won 56, 7 million in the lottery, and they didn't want to pay him, because of what he had done, but it was
Right.
perfectly legal, and so after all the court and stuff, he eventually did get paid.
And they actually made a movie about that. And Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad, you know, fucking what,
Oh
what
yeah, I remember something about that movie. Hearing about, I
yeah.
don't think I
So
saw it,
he
but I
he
remember
he
hearing.
he plays that guy. And
Oh,
that
okay.
he's the star of the movie. That's the whole thing is how mathematically he figured out on this lottery game, if you buy this many tickets, your odds of winning overall just through minor prizes and major prizes and shit like that, you know, you're gonna fucking outrun it. You can always become a crisis actor for false flags. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Anyone who wants to
speak
sell their coal.
speaking of crisis actors, if anyone hasn't seen it yet, go to phoneboothpodcast.substack.com and check it out. Ted and I did a two-part episode of, well, two episodes, two parts about the Boston bombing and the crisis actors used in that. And I think we're gonna do a third because we still had so much to talk
Keep going
about
with.
with it. Yeah, so check out that one because that's some good content right there about the Boston stuff, and hopefully we're gonna be getting to some more bonus content here soon. Uh, like I want to do an episode on the Grand Canyon and get into some of that shit, you know. But
Well, got to do it while it's still active, right? Because the fucking Hoover Dam's all fucking drying up and shit. And what is
yeah,
that called? Lake Powell or Lake Mead or
Lake
whatever? But
Lake Mead,
Lake
Lake
Mead,
Lake
yeah.
Lake
And
Lake Powell is connected somehow to it as well, though.
is it right
Yeah, they're
on?
both near each other.
But now they're talking about, you know, the water supply there is getting so low that the water that goes downstream that basically supplies water for most of the fucking desert area isn't going to fucking be able to occur, right? And so what's going to happen? Those people are going to have to migrate to cities
Yeah.
because they're not going to have the infrastructure there. God knows every time I live stream, they come from my connection. I believe
um,
it, dude. I believe that shit happens to people. I think certain people get put on a like we really don't want what they're saying out there kind of thing, and they will fuck with the audio, they'll fuck with the video, they'll shut down the fucking thing. They'll bot the lobbies. I mean, there's all kinds of things that they do. But I'm a firm believer in that, dude. Like fucking, we even
They
seen it.
must.
What was the one dude where the conspiracy song dude?
Oh,
That
conspiracy music guru.
Yeah, dude, they wiped his fucking thing from the get go. They had to do a whole new fucking episode, right? Like, and that guy, that happens to him no matter where the fuck he goes, right? Like, so it follows him across platforms. Yeah, my
Yeah.
last weather live looked like Atari graphics.
Dude, what the hell happened at the beginning of this episode? I mean, you were in the studio. You could see that I had the thumbnail on the screen.
Right. But
You
it
know,
didn't want to show it in the background. It had like a white
it
fucking
was all white.
image. It
It
was
was all
blank.
white. Yep. And
And
then
that's been a consistent thing, dude. We keep running into problems at the beginning of the thing that shouldn't be there,
yeah.
right? Like they're
Well, there's a real problem with EV Mux and when you schedule your live stream with Facebook. So I've stopped doing that. You know, I sometimes I'll schedule YouTube just because that's nice. You can put the thumbnail on there. You know, I like being able to do that. So when it's posted on the site, you have the thumbnail right there. Um, but with Facebook, when you schedule it, it seems to kick me off every damn time. I don't know. I don't know.
I wonder. I don't know why, but I wonder if does it. Well, I don't know enough on the background of EV Mux, so I guess I don't want to speculate too much.
So
But
I have emailed them and they said to me it was a fuck, I forget the verbiage that they used, but it was like some layer that we weren't even using. Like I'm like, what are you talking about? We're not even using that. So I don't know, you know, what they think the problem was, but that ain't the problem. You know, it's got to be something to do with Facebook and scheduling it because it fucks up the studio every time. I just don't.
for a minute, I had wondered if past people might be trying to, like sabotage because I don't know how the
That
back
that
end system
that
works.
that thought had crossed my mind too, but I believe
Right. And without
all
proof, you can't make the accusation, but it's like,
yeah, I believe all
why?
access has been removed from everything. So you know what's funny is is I'm blocked from being able to even comment on other people's
That
streams
that's interesting.
on every platform too. Like it's not just one; it's
Really?
all of them. Yeah,
Like took the
he
time to just
took
fucking
the
go,
time.
huh?
Took the time. Even he blocked me on Facebook too, or I'm
Dude,
sorry,
talk
on
about
X.
talk about being rent free, huh? My
Yeah, right.
problem is they installed a box on the outside of my house, which I never needed before now. My connection
Whoa.
just shuts off all the time.
What the fuck is that? Is that for your internet connection, huh? Damn, I'd switch companies.
Yeah, that's oppression at its finest, right?
Oh man. You know, I wonder, you know, if I get blackballed a lot with the algorithm just because my name, you know, and I have the emoji in my name. I
Right,
wonder if that restricts me because I mean, it just seems like, you know, there should be small growth there, you
right.
know.
No, there
So I mean, because I
absolutely
mean,
should.
I don't post that crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, you know, I get on here and talk some shit, you know, but I don't post a lot of the stuff like you know other people post. You know, the Ted
Right.
and
Yeah,
Flat Earth guys and Biff Don and you know all these guys. They post crazy shit. I don't really. Once in a while, I might post a little something crazy, but most of my shit just is trying to be comical. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
and usually it's pretty milquetoast. Like it's nothing that's
Right?
overly offensive or fucking. It's
That
not really
term is offensive to
controversial,
me. That term milk
right?
toast is
But
offensive to me.
usually it's like a play on words. It's a cool pun. Like shit like that. So why the fuck wouldn't they want to push something like that? But X
Yeah.
has 100% neutered users with a mean GIF game. Yeah, that true. Yeah, GIF will fucking basically almost guarantee your post isn't going to get fucking viewed. You get like one or two, and it's like, nope, they're using a GIF. That's not content we want to push.
Yeah. Oh boy. It's
Welcome to
another fun week of getting depressed.
Yeah, right. Well, at least we know like what's there, right? Like, you know.
I was gonna say, let's get on to some better news, and then the next fucking story is about a guy just died. Fuck. The fuck, man.
But actually, there's a good lesson to learn in this. Are we going into Joe Feltz or whatever?
Yeah, you want to?
Yeah. Because
Uh,
it ties into kind of what we're talking about now a little bit, actually, too.
Okay. Let me pull it up and I'll read it and then I'll play the video for the people. Joe Feltz, never heard of him, has died at the age of 40. Joe had been collecting rare, sacred, hidden, and last editions of old and ancient books and was in the process of scanning. Oh, I have heard of this guy. Was in the process of scanning and uploading them as a free source on the internet. Joe has been found dead. The cause of death has not been released. Some of the books included original Masonic books and Bibles, the 1812 Bible, including the Book of Esdras, Wisdom of Solomon, Apocrypha. I'm not sure I
Yeah,
said
the
that right.
Apocryphas. Yep, you're fine.
Apocrypha, and Psalms, the last books of the Bible, Conversations on the Bible, Encyclopedia of Witchcraft and Demonology, chronicling the inquisitions of Salem witch trials, ancient magic, magnetism, and much more. Many of these books showed many inconsistencies with the modern version of history and exposed many hidden secrets. Joe was also created free blueprints and online design tools to help his audience build their own off-grid power systems without expensive corporate costs and free energy. That's probably why they fucking went and got him. You
Right.
know, that last part right there. But let's watch this video real quick and then we'll
Yeah,
talk
so
about
this is going to give people a good taste of, for people who didn't or who don't know who he is, etc. This will give you a good idea about some of the things that people are speculating on why he was. People think he was killed. It came out. The story is that he, like what's his name said, it was suicide by hanging. That is the story. So let's watch the video and then we'll go in.
The deepest rabbit hole on planet Earth. I've compiled a collection of Bibles that spans 90 years of history. 3 contain the Apocrypha, Bush-owned family Bible,
Volume.
1812. German Bible containing the Apocrypha, 1878. The newest edition of my collection, nobody's
God damn it.
yet. An 1884 Catholic Bible, the first one in my collection, full of newspaper clippings. This is also a reference Bible with an entire section of information not found in a normal Bible. And then my favorite is this 1895 print, another reference Bible that contains biographies of the biblical translators. These books contain a ton of truth, but it's not all the truth, so I expanded my collection. These are the books that are going in my digital library. Ancient Magic, Magnetism, and Psychic Forces, L.H. Anderson, 1895. History of the Jew, Henry Mark Millman, 1866. History of Freemasonry and Concordant Orders by a Board of Directors, 1891. This one's going to be interesting. Taoist Yoga, Chi Su, 1980s. 17 Remarkable Vignettes in Papua New Guinea. My dad's book about his missionary work in Papua New Guinea. Heroes of European History, Louise Creighton, 1907. Another new edition. Physics and Physiology of Spiritualism, William Hammond, 1871. Am I a Jew or Gentile? Thomas Davies, 1893. The History of Freemasonry, Daniel MacDonald, 1898. The Earliest Gospel, Frederick Grant, 1943. Conversations on the Bible, Enoch Pond, 1889. Magnetism and Electricity, a lab manual by W.M.S. Webb, M.N. States, 1930. 2-volume set, Original Teaching of Zoroaster, Marion Crawford, 1885. Given to me by a 33-degree Freemason, this is the Holman Bible, which is translated from ancient Eastern manuscripts. A very interesting Bible and an interesting translation. Research to find out more. Encyclopedia of Witchcraft and Demonology by Russell Hope Robbins, 1959. People give me hell about this book, but it's part of history. 1967 World Almanac containing tons of economic statistics. Egyptian mythology. Original works of Flavius Josephus, William Wyston, 1872. The Outline of History, H.G. Wells, 1920. Night Scenes in the Bible, Daniel March, 1869. This is a trove of information littered with the breadcrumbs of truth. But remember that truth is like gravity. It does not care if you know what it is, it still applies. I figure if I put 2 centuries worth of print dates full of thousands of centuries worth of information online, we can finally figure it out.
Dang. Yeah, I have heard of that guy. I didn't know what his name was though. Bueller Dam says I could be wrong, but I thought somebody close to him put out a video showing an article. I have no thoughts of harming myself. I don't drive fast or impaired. I have no thought of getting a shootout with enforcement, nor would I. I would never do any mass pew pew events. So if you ever hear of any of them,
And you know what's funny is, so I didn't know of this Joe Feltz guy before he died at all. I didn't follow him. It looks like he had a relatively small following, anyways, right? Um, but afterwards, once he died and whatnot, I seen like that video and whatnot, which is intriguing, right? So I looked at some of his other stuff, and then once I did that, then I started getting like skeptical on the guy. Because there's like one where he's like digging shit up, right? And there's supposed to be like fucking, like relics and shit like that. But it looks like newer shit that he buried, like almost like he was making it up. So I don't know if like the books are real and the fucking other shit is fake, but there were a lot of different things uh, that as I'm looking at this guy, I'm not so sure if he was even the real deal. And then at the same thing, it was like before he dies, he literally says, like, I'm not suicidal or anything like that. He's about to release this book. But then he's like digging up these crazy fucking artifacts. And I'm like, maybe he was going to release the books, but maybe half this guy was like a fucking scam. I don't know. I don't get it. But I do know that now he's died, and I'm seeing all these people that didn't know anything about him posting him everywhere, pushing, the story of he was going to do this or he was going to do that, and like putting meaning behind it. And I'm uh, like I don't know, are they fucking with our head, right? Like, are they trying to push so people go? Are they trying to push us down a direction to mislead us? I don't know, but I'm skeptical on the guy. I'm very skeptical on the guy. I'd love to read those books and get access to that library, and it doesn't look like his wife is going to release the shit.
So he was never able to post them. I don't. Why wouldn't he post them one by one? Like, I mean,
So he was scanning them, and I guess he uploaded them to his site or whatever. But there was a site that was supposed to go live, and you could go there. It's going to be free. Like you could have access to all those books. I'm sure there were ways that you could like pay to like support them or whatever. But the concept, it was free. I thought it was suspicious too. But the key part is he was heavily involved with two geniuses, free energy inventors, and he was pushing their technology pretty heavy. Yes,
yeah.
but the guy also had, for somebody who made it sound like he was looking at all this, like he had the Masonic pillars and shit tattooed on his back. He's got a lot of fucking occultic tattoos. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know enough about the guy to necessarily know if I should trust him or if they're like running some fucking game. I don't even know if the guy's like, I don't know enough about the guy. I want the library, but everything else is just super suspect.
Let's watch this second video here. Maybe he's just AI, huh?
I mean, these videos on the book are intriguing, even this one.
This is a color map of Palestine, aka the Holy Land. Question I really don't want to ask. Okay, this is a color map of Palestine or the Holy Land, aka the Holy Land. Hold that thought. We come right over here to Genesis 49:28. All these 12 tribes of Israel. Whoa, wait a minute. Did you catch that? Palestine, Holy Land. Israel, tribe. Israel's a tribe and Palestine's a country. A simple search of history will show you in 722 BC, Babylon destroyed the entire northern kingdom of Judah. The southern kingdom remained, but Judah was the line of Jacob. They were destroyed 722 years before the birth of Christ, and now Palestine is listed in here as a country. Israel, tribe. But what if they got it wrong and Palestine is God's chosen people and they're being slowly persecuted nigh unto death right in front of our face? All because something got lost in translation. There's some questions I really don't want to know the answer to.
Oof, yeah. that one will get you flagged probably.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very thought-provoking fucking video, right? Like, you're like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. free energy devices are still a very quick way to get yourself unalive. The push to
Hmm.
talk about the books may be steering away from the free energy devices. That very well could be. I saw so I can't think of the kid's name. It's Doctor whatever, but this kid like he loves shit from like I want to say it's like from the 1940s or whatever, the 20s, right? He wears clothes. His house is all tricked out with like real old vintage shit, and they were you know with these relics like that. But the thing is that was another thing is the relics. Doctor Frankenstein, I think is the kid's name. The relics seem to be like shit that you would buy in like a store, that was made to look like older shit. So I don't. That's again why I don't know if this guy was like running a fucking scam, or if like what's going on. Because there's like half his shit is absolute fucking fire, but the other half is like questionable, really questionable.
Well, here's what Tiffany says. Joe Feltz was a con artist using fake books, fake antiquities, and false information to entertain the gullible. Kept talking about making these mysterious books digital and using AI to solve mysterious. Didn't do any of that. LOL.
So and
So,
again, I don't know enough because like everybody else, I only learned about him after he fucking died. Like he was involved with the guy that's turning plastic back into fuel as well. Oh
ooh, maybe
yeah,
maybe they can turn the fuel back into a dinosaur.
right.
Yeah, I've always wondered that myself. Why we don't, because we recycle plastic, but I mean, it seems like there would be a way to use it as a fuel source of some kind.
Yeah,
'Cause
and the
that's what
guy
the
he's
plastic
talking.
is, mostly oil. So,
Yep. That and what he's talking about, that guy's been working on that for like fucking I don't know, a few years now. And there was a time where he kind of dropped off the grid for a little bit, but his machine, seems to be working. It seems to be making progress. It seems that he can revert the plastics and shit back down to a fuel. Um, So, like the theory of are they pushing towards the books to move away from those ideas and concepts? Very well could be, right? Subterfuge and shit. I mean, it would make sense. It's just a lot
well,
of weirdness.
let me ask you something, because you're smarter than me. Um,
No, I'm not.
what? Why now? If all these ancient books exist, and I get that there's probably not many copies out there because the 1800s there was a lot of fires in them 1800s. Um, but wouldn't AI know about these books and the history of these books? I mean,
Yeah, it should because, like, okay, so AI has basically been trained on the whole of the internet, right? And God, every book they could get their fucking hand on, right? So therefore, even if they hadn't had access to that book primarily through its mentions, excerpts, etc., over the internet and through people, it should have that context to then associate with. Um, so the answer to your question is yes, it should. And the other thing is that you have these companies like Anthropic that are now buying up and getting their hands on all these books so they
mhm.
can put it into their system, and then they're destroying them, right? And I just saw a news report. So there's this like small book dealer, right? And he said like recently he started getting uh, multiple purchases from this same account, right? And the account's not from the state, and it was kind of odd. It never happened. And now he's just getting them in batches. Well, it looks like it's an AI company that's buying these books online from these people. So it looks like they're going around trying to get their hands on all these antique books, and then once they get them, to fucking destroy them after they're uploaded into their, system. So that way we don't ever have a way to figure out what's what, and they can just 1984 everything and just be like, nah, that never happened. Nah, that didn't exist. That's not true. You know?
Oh man, this next one I got queued up here.
Mm.
It says it's getting wilder and wilder. Joe Feltz is none other than the actor Ethan Hawke.
Right, right. I'm glad we
Um,
got this
I,
going.
yeah, I'll play this video. It's a little bit long, but that's okay. It'll give me a chance to go to the bathroom. So uh,
Beautiful.
let's play this bad boy.
If we disappear, the government did it.
You see, you might not realize this yet, but I'm not like the other ones. Not like the ones like Moon Henry pushing Joe Feltz's death on you. And I keep saying this over and over. Their tactics aren't murder, they're fear and deception. Now, some of you might not know this guy, but he was a content creator and he put out a lot of great information. But anytime someone goes missing, especially saying if I go missing, it was the government that did it, a red flag goes up for me. And when he posts on it, I know it's a lie because he's a lying fearmonger. And this might trigger some of you right now, but stick around because I have some things to show you. And yes, I will admit that a lot of Joe's content was good stuff, but that's always how they hook you. They give you a lot of truth and a lot of good stuff so they can deceive you and cause trauma in other ways. I literally just put out a video a few days ago saying it's the Lionsgate portal, keep your head on a swivel because they like to cause trauma during that period. And would you look at that, one of the most beloved content creators turns up dead. Cool devil horns, Joe. Now, I had seen this guy. I don't watch people's content, but I had seen him. But my suspicions were up as soon as I saw Moon Henry posting on it. So I went looking, and it took me about 20 seconds, actually. Let's see if you see it.
Scientist. I'm basically a solar scientist. We've lived in this bus, me and that crazy-ass woman there, since June 11th, and let me show you how I got this solar science dialed in, Cletus.
Did you see it? And I'm not just talking the devil horns. That he flashed again, mind you. That was the first time I showed you in his bus. Here's another look.
I'm a scientist. I'm basically a solar scientist. We've lived in this bus, me and that crazy-ass woman there, since June 11th, and let me...
How about now? Are you seeing it now? An all-seeing eye and that symbol. Do you know what that symbol is? How about when I put it next to this thing? Do you know what that is? Well, that's a Mason symbol, and boy, it sure looks exactly the same. And did you hear when he moved in? June 11th?
We've lived in this bus, me and that crazy-ass woman there, since June 11th, and...
Since June 11th. June is the 6th month, and 11th. 6 times 11 is 66, with devil horns and all-seeing eye and a Masonic pyramid on his bus. But it gets better.
Ask questions about the Freemasons. In my hand, I have a Freemason Bible from the 1950s and a whole bunch of internal Freemason documents. Book of the Apprentice, Book of the Fellow Craft, Book of the Master Mason, a Monitor and Officer's Manual, the Constitution and Bylaws, Masonic Law and Customs, and one entitled The Truth Shall Set You Free. I'll be honest, I don't know much about the Freemasons except the stereotype that they have in modern society that they're bad or evil. A lot of people think they're bad, but I was reading their internal literature and I'm not so sure.
Interesting how he has book after book after book after pamphlet of Freemasonry. They don't readily give those out. And well, the Freemasons got one thing right. The truth shall set you free. And I'm trying to do that, my friends. Now I'm going to go into a second level of this that a lot of you who haven't seen my content aren't ready for. But if you have, you know where this is going. And if you haven't, have an open mind because I've been doing this a long time and I don't normally miss. For those of you that are new here, I've been given a gift and I've always thought it was of facial recognition, but lately I've been thinking it's more of communication because I've been just saying, talk to me, and a voice will pop in my head with a name. And I did that with old Joe here. And I saw something and heard something immediately. It was the name Ethan Hawke. You know, Ethan Hawke, the actor. Well, I saw it right away, but the very first thing I did is, well, I went to the wives. Well, here's Ethan and one of his wives. And old Joe here, who has a dragon tattoo, which is also known as the devil and Satan. Well, that's his wife, who also does content with him. Joe's wife, Ethan's wife. But then I said to myself, that's not enough evidence. So I compared faces and grins and even wearing their hats a little higher. And well, the faces and the beards and everything fit perfect. But I also said to myself, if this is true, I'm going to find a hawk real fast. So I went looking through his video and I didn't see it at first. But then I went to the next video and there it was, staring me in the face. Do you see it up there? What's that in his hat? How about here? That's a little better picture. Well, I decided to ask AI what type of feather that was. I said, is it a hawk feather? It certainly looks like one, AI said. The feather features the distinct alternating dark brown black horizontal bearing across a lighter tan grayish background, which is a classic pattern found in the wing tails of a hawk. You see, they don't take people out. They just cause fear and deception. And they fake taking people out who are giving you truth, so you are fearful to give truth like I give truth, fearlessly. Now, there are way more of these phony balonies out there than you can ever imagine, and I've been exposing them a while now. Go back to my videos and you will see a lot of your favorites caught in lies and deception and doing all sorts of symbolism. And you will also see them all attacking me because I am outing them all fearlessly and trying to inspire all of you to be fearless as well, unlike them who cause fear. But of course, all of this is for entertainment purposes. I don't really think those two frauds are those two frauds. And there's a bunch of fallen angels down here who can shapeshift, deceiving humanity and causing fear and deception, not killing anyone. They're just causing us to kill each other and to poison each other by taking their evil poison vaccines and pills and drinking ourselves into oblivion so we don't get to the bottom of it all. That you're an eternal spiritual being here to maybe live your best life in spite of all their lies and work on yourself internally and form a connection and relationship with our Heavenly Father. But entertainment only. I'm a satire account. I don't really care about helping you all see the liars of the world. Truth will set you free, my friends. I got one thing right. Entertainment only.
So,
Well,
am I not on camera? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't
Oh,
see you.
oh my God! What? Okay, give me a second to refresh, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, that guy said a bunch of words in that video, and I don't know if I agree with all of it. Um, it sure seems like this guy was probably, I think the electricity thing is probably the thing that got him, you know, taken out. It's all theater. That is correct. So maybe he was a plant to monitor the free energy tech builders. That one is sketchy.
So,
Um,
I go ahead.
well, yeah, I want to ask you about this guy because you
Mhm.
seem like you wanted to talk about him in the message. Um, go ahead.
So, two things. Like I said, before all this happened, I didn't know shit about this Joe Feltz guy, right? And most people didn't. It was relatively um, small account. What's up, Shiva?
What up, Shiba?
So I didn't know shit about him, but I started, looking into him just to get an idea of who the fucking guy was. I wasn't gonna pretend like, oh yeah, I fucking know this guy. Um, so he was deep into symbology and fucking occultism and shit like that. So we don't necessarily know what his past is, really, right? For all we know, he could have been a fucking Mason and then was born again or whatever, and that's where that shit on his body is from, right? And where his knowledge is. So that's one thing. But the second thing is, even if that's a hawk feather, uh, like fittest flat earther doesn't understand his symbology. He doesn't he speaks outside of school. Okay? And just for anyone who's gonna get upset, what I'm about to express is my own view. It's not held by phone booth or any of the other people. Maybe they feel the same way, maybe they don't. I'm just telling you how I see it. So All right. So the hawk feather, the hawk represents Horus, right? It's another form of Horus. It's also another form of Zeus, right? Saturn, etc., right? So the symbology on that is different. What I don't like is fittest flat earther himself. The more I look into the guy and watch the shit, he seems like a plant. He seems like a divisive fucking liar. Okay? I watch him put up random ass people and be like, oh yeah, you see this? You see this twinkle in his eye? You see this little fucking mole on his nose? This is this person. Like, this guy is not only, in my opinion, intentionally deceiving people, but then I see him go on the attack of people like Moon Henry and JT follows JC and fucking the Nephilim were clowns and Paranoid America, right? Like this guy, Fittest Flat Earther, is going out. And mind you, these were all his friends, right? A lot of these guys were his friends that helped him get to where he was, and helped him in the background with his life and shit, right? And when he started doing his bullshit, they all started calling him out. Like, what are you doing? Right? Like, why are you just blatantly making shit up and misleading people? So now he's went on like the attack, right? But a great example is this fucking Ethan Hawke thing, right? First, Joe doesn't look anything like fucking Ethan Hawke, in my opinion. When you see that face by face comparison, he it looks nothing the same. But then he goes on that fucking stretch and tries to tie it together with the hawk feather, right? But he doesn't know his symbology, so he doesn't understand what it represents. So in his fucking mental midget head, he wants to try to tie that again to Ethan Hawke, right? Which dude, it's like, just fucking stop. And if you're gonna do that, because satire account, whatever. Why go and blast people who are actually putting out factual things or things that are coherent? Like, why do you start taking shots at them? So I'm unsettled by Fittest Flat Earther a lot. You know what I mean? Like, I don't trust the guy for shit. I think he makes up half his content. I don't understand how people are like, oh, and the other thing is, okay, great. People look similar. There's 8 billion fucking people in the world.
Allegedly.
Right. I'm sure you've seen people who look like other people that you know in your life along the way, because we can only look so many certain ways, right? We all got fucking doppelgangers, that people that look like us or variations of us, right? Because that's how fucking genetic works, I hope I get big enough to where he makes a video because I want to see which celebrity I am. Yeah, and it's such a garbage way to marginalize somebody or their message, right? And on top of that, whenever he puts shit out, like you can tell the guy's never chased anything down on his own. He doesn't do the homework to learn, right? He sits on the shoulders of fucking giants, like he built the castle himself, and he makes these abstract accusations, as if they're fucking declarations, and then he claims, I'm the only one telling you the truth. I'm the voice of truth. I'm the voice of reason. Don't listen to all these other fucking people. That, like, that rubs me the wrong way so much, especially when you got a situation with a guy like fucking Joe Fletch, right? Where, like, half his shit is super occultic, and then the other half is kind of like, I don't know what's going on. But he's like, oh yeah, this is Ethan Hawke. Like, why? What is the point of doing that, right? Other than some fucking hits and this whole thing that all the celebrities are fallen stars, and that they're all watchers. Well, guess what, dude? 222 or 220 or 222 angels fell, right? There were 20 or 22 leaders, and then there were 200 fucking angels, right? So you can only have so many celebrities that are technically the fallen angel. You know what I mean? But this guy just, I don't know. He lives in a different fucking world. I don't trust him at all. That's the end of it. But so, in my opinion, for me, I'm saying fuck Fittest Flat Earth. Other people may not hold my view, and I'm good with that. But I just want to put that out there, dude. I view the guy as a deceiver. I wouldn't trust the fucking thing. I have him fucking muted. I don't want to watch any of his content because it's
I
always
don't know
that
if I
same
don't even know if I
fucking
follow him.
garbage. Yeah, it's always the same fucking garbage. And the fact that, like somebody like JT follows JC, these are like verifiably good fucking people. You know what I mean? They put out good content, they work hard, they they if you reach out to any of these guys, you know what I mean? They'll talk to you, they'll communicate, like they're not bullshitting, they're not trying to get anything out of you. So why do you want to like go and like fucking pull them through the mud, right? And I'm not like super boys with any of them. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm like, "Oh, you got to like these people." But it makes me wonder like what is the motive, right? And again, I think it's an ego thing. I think this guy wants to be the definitive, right? He's got his own fucking website and he pushes people over to that and there's monetization. You know what I mean? So it's like the guy who's monetizing everything and the guy who wants you to believe that he's the truth. I am the law, right? Fucking Mr. Judge Dredd there. Like it absolutely fucking rubs me the wrong way, dude.
I
It all
gotta, I
goes
gotta.
along. Sure.
Go ahead, read it.
Oh, it all goes along with the plan. First, you erode a man's trust in institutions. Then the final step is to destroy the faith in God with alien operations.
I got a soundbite for the fittest flat earther.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Beta!
Beta, yeah.
Beta. Yeah.
Beta!
Guy's such a fucking beta, dude. And that's the thing that rubs me the most. If
Well,
you stand on the fucking shoulders of giants and you stand on the content of all these other fucking people, and then come in like fucking somehow you built the system and you're the authority. Everything about that scream makes me want to mistrust you right away. Like your ego's out of fucking line, right? There needs to be a level of humbling. So
yeah. Well, let me ask you a question because he and along with many other people always are talking about Freemasons and Masonry and stuff like that. Now, do you believe that there can be good Freemasons out there?
Sure. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because not
Well,
every Freemason uh, is there because of some dark, nefarious reason. Not every Mason is a part of the global cabal, right? It's through being in the lodge, right? When they get to gauge your
we'll see you later,
morale.
Beulah. Have a good night, buddy.
Yep. Yeah, thank you very much for coming through, man. Been awesome. So, uh, what was I saying?
That there are good ones in there as
Oh
well.
yeah, yeah. So in a lodge, the way it works, right? Because there's what's called blue lodges, right?
Right.
So
Which is
like
that's where you
you
start.
yeah, your average town, whatever, right? You're just on your coming up ins. And
Right.
based on your lodge's interactions with you, they get an idea of your scruples, right? And your morality, right? And so just by running a couple tests, maybe having you do something, they can see if you're morally flexible, right? And it's the morally flexible people who are willing to go further with the information who end up getting tapped to go to the next level because you can only become a 32nd degree Mason. The 33rd degree has to be bestowed upon
Honorary.
you. And then from there, you can go into the Shriners and whatever, right? And then you really start going. Think of it as
Well,
like fucking base camp. So
was
people become Masons with positive intentions. It's not because they know it to be a satanic cult. If you go and you look through the Masonic literature at face value and, when you first come through, there's nothing in there necessarily to give you that impression. If you're new,
right.
you know what I mean? You get to come in believing in God or whoever, but you got to have a higher power. You know what I mean? So it's like a filtration system. So
Right.
yes,
It's
I
it's
think there
about
can be good Masons.
yeah, it's about taking men and making them better men, as far as my understanding.
Yeah,
The first 3 degrees is that's how you become a master mason after the third degree, and then
right.
I thought after that you can either go Scottish or York Rite after that.
So everything that we're familiar of, right, is the Scottish Rite. Like all the Masonic shit that you see online, all that, that's all based out of the Scottish Rite. There is a Northern Rite, but you don't jump from this one to that one. It's kind of like its own entity, right? But one is much larger than the other, which is the Scottish Rite. Um, yeah.
Let me see.
What's up,
What?
Secret of Gods?
Whoa. What else do we got here? Um, Paleo Christcon. I don't know. What is
And
this?
to speak about that too, by the way. So outside of say your Masonic chapters and shit, right? You have all these other secret societies that they're pulling together. It's only a select people. You know, you could probably go to hundreds of towns where probably even fucking thousands, right? Look on your listing. If you go and you go to the Masonic's main page, and you can find a lodge, you know, by your house, and you'll see how they're all fucking laid out, right? You can go to thousands of those, and I guarantee you, nobody in there is connected to anything important, right? Anything that's really elevated, right? It's just fucking good people working on their community. You know, they may not understand the system they're in completely. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
then there's others that are more nefarious, and that are gateways into other organizations like CFR or government fucking think tanks or conglomerates and things like that. I think they're really meant to be a recruiting uh, point. You know what I mean? Like that's how they grab and breed blue collar leaders.
Yeah. Well, for about a year, I went to a Blue Lodge, and I would have dinner weekly with these guys. And then once a month, that they would have open lodge where you could actually go into lodge with them. Um, and I never saw anything nefarious. They're just a bunch of older men. It's just a fraternity, you know. They're just older guys that do a lot within the community, you know. Um, and like I said, that's the main takeaway that I got from it was just taking men and making them better men, which is almost like fucking um, Scientology in a way. Like on the surface, you look at it and it doesn't sound that bad. It's about bettering yourself. When you read like
Right.
that Going Clear
Get
or
rid of your
whatever,
thetans. Yep.
right? On the surface level, it looks good. But
Yep.
then, the deeper you go, yeah, right, whatever, Bill, you didn't know shit, guy. All right,
Right. Boo.
we all know you're in the Masonic Club too, there, Fred Durst.
You can't park there.
All I could think about is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and they're like, "Is this not an acceptable place to park?"
So,
um,
but that's a good analogy, by the way, right? Because it's not in Scientology, right? Like you can get to fucking high end, and then they're like, because you used to go clear at this level, right? I can't remember what it was called, but it was called going clear, and this is where you'd be. And then they were like, oh, guess what? Like now you can go like fucking super clear, and then there's like all these multiple levels of clear that you can go beyond, right? And anyways, by the end, you find out that it's fucking Xenu, and the intergalactic fucking bullshit story, right? Well, you
how
don't
is it?
learn that in the beginning. You don't learn that in the beginning. You think that you're bettering yourself and you're getting rid of thetans, and it seems reasonable. It's not until you get way far beyond that they start laying all this other shit on you after you spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, then they're all like, here's the real truth. This is the real clear. This is the double clear. Masons are like that too, right? Like you said, and you were very accurate. You only have to do the first 3 degrees, right? Most people stop at the third degree. You don't have to become a fourth, fifth, whatever. You can leave all that alone and just stay in the lodge. And most people do. Most people don't want to take the time to study all that, right? Like it's a networking thing, kind of essentially,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. It's a networking thing.
Right. So everybody who joins, whether it's that or Scientology, they're not necessarily nefarious, right? And they're not doing it for nefarious reasons. But the higher you get up, the more malleable your morals are, the more likely you're going to learn about the more devious type shit, and then that's when it starts getting off the rails. Because if they show a normal person that devious shit from the get go,
Nobody would do it.
yeah, an average person, like, what the fuck is that? No. if you went into Scientology and you learned right away or relatively early about fucking Xenu and the fucking super bomb and the fucking volcano and shit, right? Like you'd be like, no, I'm done, right? But that they bullshit you and they wait, and they get you invested by spending your money and spending your time. And then they got their little cans, right? It's basically like an old school fucking lie machine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just reacting to your physical responses, right? So
Hmm.
they can tell when there's a spike on a question that, hey, wait a minute, what was that about? Are you hiding something? Are you feeling shame, guilt? Like what happened? You know what I mean? And then they pull it out of you. And their whole thing is kind of like secret societies where they extract your your deepest secrets, right? And your most undesirable experiences and shit like that, right? They record all that, right? So at the end, if you ever try to leave Scientology, they can hit you with their fucking all in, where it's all about destroying your reputation, causing hell for you, just smiting you. It is attack, attack, attack.
Yeah.
So it's really good analogy.
That's why the only society I follow is the Secret Society of Good Guys, Templar.
That's right. Or the
shout
Phone
out
Booth Podcast Society.
to shout out to Cheney and Paranoid American and all those guys over there.
Yep. And they do great shit, dude. I love Paranoid America, dude. I fucking
Yeah, I
love that
hope.
dude.
I hope. I think I just booked him. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm working on getting him booked. We just have to set a time. So
Yeah, I hope it works out, dude, because fucking, I
yeah,
mean,
I'm excited to
he
talk
knows
to
his
him.
shit. He's articulate. He's not a bullshitter. You know what I mean? Like, he's a good dude. And I don't even know him as a person. I'm just saying this off of what I know him from watching him and other people that know him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I have no red flags about the guy. I never catch him bullshitting. I never catch him overhyping something for the fucking clicks or views or any of that shit that people, try to do. Which, those are all good qualities.
Let's because we still got one more topic here, and
Sure.
I got this other short little video here. Andrew Wilson, do you want to tell me about it? I don't know what it is.
Which one is that? Andrew Wilson.
Okay, this rabbit hole is deep. I don't just want videos of Paleo ChristCon getting owned. I want videos of him showing how absolutely disgusting he is. Andrew Wilson, you are vile. As a
Oh,
survivor, this was hard to watch, but everyone needs to know who this guy is. Why did
okay.
I ever respect this vile piece of shit?
So Andrew Wilson is the guy, like if you follow the Candace at all, right? Andrew
Okay.
Wilson is the dude who he has a podcast called Whatever, right? And what he usually does is he has sleazy bitches come on and they sit on the other side of the table, right? And there's a white background over there. And he debates uh fucking stupid people, stupid fucking social climbers, right? That's all he does. And for some reason, TPUSA decided that they wanted him to fucking train their people so that they could debate online or fucking do better than what they are with the people over the Charlie Kirk shit, right? So this video that just came up is his debate where his gotcha moment is essentially like fucking uh has a woman ever came while she was being sexually assaulted? Because therefore she must have liked it, right? Therefore it must have been a good thing, right? And I wanted to throw that out there to show like the depravity of some of these people, right? Because this is supposed to be like he's supposed to be looked on as like a Christian and a moral crusader and shit. But when you watch like these videos with him, you can see that the guy has no scruples, right? And who's pushing somebody to say, yeah, but logically, right? There's probably at least been a woman out there who has enjoyed getting raped, right? No, the act of rape itself, the
Templar,
act of forcing
Templar.
yourself.
E. Jean Carroll said she fantasized about it and was into it. The
No,
Trump,
that
the
well,
Trump
no, she
accuser.
right. She said that the
It's
idea,
sexy.
the idea of rape was sexy. But then she said that the act, it wasn't sexy. She said it was rough. It was, it wasn't nice, whatever, right? And plus, like, she's kind of batshit crazy. But regardless, the point is, the concept is that you're forcing yourself on another person. So the fact that you're forcing it, right? Like, they don't want it, right? And you're forcing yourself to them, right? You're subjecting them to this. How you just overrode their will. Now, the other thing is he's conflating the body's natural reaction, right? If I'll give you an example, right? If fucking somebody fucking blindfolds you or holds you back and rapes you and sucks your fucking dick, eventually you're gonna come. It is just a physiological response to your dick getting sucked, right? You suck it long enough, it's gonna come. That doesn't mean that if somebody fucking force sucked your dick, has you tied down and sucked your dick, and you came, that you wanted that experience anymore. It just means that your body physically reacted to the physical stimulation. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that like you're like, oh yeah, that's so that shit to me is just so fucking dark. It shows kind of like the twisted mind that somebody has to have, to have that kind of insight. Like, no, forcing by nature is never a good thing, period.
Well, let's see what this asshole has to say. Why are we even debating this madness? Because we're about to watch
Exactly.
this video right here.
Yeah.
When you say like certain people, it's like, okay, dude, yeah, I guess you could make the case that like grape is bad for certain people.
No.
For certain people.
No, it's bad for everyone.
No, it's only bad for certain people. Here,
Andrew.
like there's women, you agree, who have orgasmed during SA.
That has nothing to do with whether it's SA.
Bro.
That has nothing to do with whether it's SA. Are you kidding me?
Bro, I didn't say whether or not it's SA. I said during SA.
What does it have to do with anything?
Well, bro, if that's the case, right, then was it bad for them?
Yes.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because there are overriding harms than just orgasm. I'm
Got
not
it.
saying that's not the case. What?
Perfect. So then here's the case then. The case is like when you say for some people, right? The reason you keep saying that is because even though it's the vast overwhelming majority of people, you want to like create this little minutia outlier, right? Is it logically possible that there's ever been a woman who's been SA'd who'd enjoyed it?
I am not going to.
Can you answer my question? Is
No.
it logically possible?
I'm not ascribing anything to that.
Do you think
Andrew.
there's ever been a single woman who's been SA'd and has enjoyed it?
I'm not going to answer the question.
Answer the question.
I'm not going to answer the question.
But-
I'm not gonna
because then I
answer-
can't say
I'm
some
not gonna
people.
I'm not going to answer
Yeah.
whether women enjoy being great.
That's not what I asked you.
Whether a woman has enjoyed being great.
If there's ever been one. Do you
I'm
think
not-
there's ever been one?
I'm not. No, I'm not answering.
You don't
it.
think there has been?
I don't know, and I'm not going to answer.
Yeah,
it.
exactly,
I'm not
'cause you
going to
know-
answer.
'cause you
I'm not
know,
going to.
'cause
This
you
is such a
fucking
weird
know.
thing. What do you? This is such a weird thing
What's
to get
wrong with
on
answering the
about.
question?
Because I'm not going to say. I'm not going to contribute to rhetoric that tries to say that there is anything good about SA.
Who said there's anything good about it?
You just said that some women orgasm, therefore that is a good of it.
No.
So yeah, that dude seems like a piece of shit.
Yeah. So, and what's more interesting is like his current baby mama, right? His current wife is a hoe. She's got like 3 baby daddies and all that, right? Like this is a beta male. This is an insecure fucking dude who has a hoe for a wife and wants to like the fact that he thinks in his mind he thinks that there's some form of SA against a woman which she will like or desire should tell you how fucking twisted that guy is in his head. I'd check that guy's fucking hard drive. I guarantee you he has some fucking naughty, weird shit on it, dude. A guy who thinks like that is, the perversion is well beyond the basics, right? Like, I guarantee you this guy watches rape porn. I guarantee you this
Yeah.
guy, you know what I mean? He probably, the realer, the better. He's probably, that is my guess. If you got access to that guy's fucking drive, you're probably going to see something fucking ugly. And this is supposed to be some kind of like moral, some guy with some upright moral standing. Does that video replicate moral standing to you at all? Doesn't for me. But that's the guy that TPUSA wants to, or had trained their debaters. And now, they're having him try to pay Candace Owens $500,000 to sit down and fucking debate with him or whatever. You know what I mean? But the guy, it's sick, dude. He's a scumbag. I can't imagine any woman who has ever been sexually assaulted, or any male, for that matter, that would say, "Yeah, that was great. I'm so glad that happened to me. I'm so glad that I said no and somebody forced them." Just the fact of somebody forcing something onto you, forcing you to comply, alone is fucking horrible, right? Like, imagine it sexually. You know, it's got to be the worst fucking thing I have to deal with. And then to stand and be like, "But, but, but some women might like it, right?" No, they might like the fantasy of the aspect, right? Like a Jean Grey, you know, like, I, okay, if we're having to talk like the fantasy, but not the actual act, right? Because people role play weird shit, right? So I'll give that. But if you actually did that to the woman who role plays it with her husband or boyfriend or whatever, you know, like, she's not going to be fun. You know what I mean? She's not hanging out in the hood in the middle of the night wearing skimpy clothes, you know, like, "I'm going to enjoy getting raped. I'm going to go do this. I'm going to say," right? Women don't do that because they don't want to be overridden. Nobody wants to have their will overridden. Nobody.
Yeah. Well,
So dark, dude.
from one scumbag to the next, we'll just go right into the next one here.
Yeah.
Abdul El Said, to my Jewish American sisters and brothers, my commitment to your safety, to Jewish safety, is the same commitment that I have to my own daughters. And
Yeah,
here,
we're switching up.
and so here's your reaction. And there's we got a couple other videos too about this guy. So let's get into it.
I didn't know a single thing about El Sayed about, I don't know, 24 hours ago. And I started looking into this guy. And I think you guys might want to pay attention to him because you're watching somebody rise on the national scene right now. This guy is going to be Obama 2.0. This guy is going to be beyond Obama 2.0. This guy is going to be a front runner with AOC. And you're probably going to see him hit the world stage. Pay attention what he says about his Jewish brothers and sisters, and I think you know where this is going. This man comes, well, his father comes from Egypt, right? They articulate him as an immigrant from Egypt, but it's not as simple as that, right? He comes from Alexandria, and you might want to look into his father. You might want to look into his bloodline. Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you a potential candidate for Antichrist. I didn't know a single thing about El.
So now did he just win a primary in Michigan or something?
In Michigan. Can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Can you pull up a third screen, the screen underneath us, and go to Google?
I can't pull up another screen, but I can go to Google. Tell me what you want me to Google.
It won't show it live. You can't like share.
I can't. Yeah, I can only do one at a time. So.
Yeah, I got you. So go to Google and type in Al Sayed, and then let it populate, and then put that on the screen, and then we'll just talk in the background. I'm gonna show you something in real fucking time. Okay? Now scroll down.
Hang on.
Go ahead and scroll down.
Oops.
Oh yeah.
Hang on. Boom. Okay.
Okay, and then scroll all the way down. Actually, go up real quick. Go up. This will make it even easier. Go up and hit the news tab. Okay, news, and then go over to tools. Up, tools, yep. And then do advanced short. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. Go, there you go, a year. There you go. Click tools and do the thing so you can get to a year. You see that? Past year. Okay? So scroll down. You're going to see 1 week, 3 weeks, 1 week, 5 days. Keep going. 4 days, 1 week, 4 days. On average, the oldest thing you can find from this guy. Now go to page 2. Go to the second Google. Hit the third one. I did over 15 fucking pages going through. I found one thing that like mentions him. Even his website was put together in 2026.
Wow.
Okay? And it doesn't matter. You keep going. It's like they put this guy. So during COVID, I guess this guy was like the head of the fucking, health department or whatever over in fucking Michigan and shit. And this guy was forcing, he was even trying to force the fucking cops to take the vaccine or whatever. But the interesting point, outside of them like showing or talking about these tidbits on his thing, you can't find any news stories or history of the guy. And you can go click all and just click through the next thing and you won't see anything. Everything is extremely recent, dude. Like, max it out. Go to the 12 and then fucking go further. See if you can find something. I think that I found one thing that was from like a year ago that had mentioned him. But if you go, everything is new. Usually the oldest shit that you're going to find is going to be, it'll be about 3 months old.
Here's one from April.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is the guy, like, the reason I'm showing this is because I want to show you how they artificially astroturf somebody onto the people. And what you're going to see is the media is just going to play this guy up, right? Like, fucking, he's the greatest thing. And, like, I get Bernie Sanders and all these fucking people have come and, like, bent the toe to this guy, right? Like, they're trying to build him up. So I expect that this guy is going to be a front runner with AOC. The same way Obama came in and got into the Senate and then immediately got projected into the presidency, I think you're going to see that same type of story arc with this guy. You can see the same type of Obama mannerisms and whatnot. So he's went through the same kind of training. He's articulate, and he communicates. Now, the other thing is his name, L. Like, if you followed any of the shit, right? L is same thing as the deity, right? So anytime you see EL, AL, LL, that is showing divinity, right? And it usually speaks to El the God or Baal, right? So, and then Syed, do you know what Syed means?
No.
Lord, Master. So he is the divine Lord and Master by his name alone, right?
Oh.
He comes from Egypt. Now they say his dad was the way they portray it is his dad was an immigrant. That's the story. They say it like that. His dad was an immigrant who immigrated to the United States. Well, his dad was actually an influential dude. Yes, he immigrated to the United States, but he also ended up being like a fucking professor and really well fucking connected, right? And they have large roots way over in the Middle East, but in the United States, they have roots that go back to like the fucking 1800s. His dad and him are Rhodes Scholar recipients. If you know anything about what the Rhodes Scholarship is all about, that should open your eyes. He went to fucking Oxford and Columbia and all of these. I mean, he has the most decked out fucking history to go with his fucking bloodline. You know what I mean? And the more you like look into the guy, and then you see like, okay, there's no real history that they want to give you on the guy. You know what I mean? You got to like go fucking dig because Google's like, oh, 3 months. This is all we get. This guy won. He's so great. Like they're astroturfing this guy. They're going to set this guy up counter to Trump and all that frustration that people feel against the Republicans and Trump and all this for the bullshitting and whatnot. It's going to run people into this guy's arms, Yep, all the angels and an L. Exactly. Because it shows divinity, right? All of it, dude. It's the same thing. Etymology got me put in the basement. Yeah, it will, dude. I mean, I every now and again I'll do a fucking stream on it or whatever. But yeah, X doesn't like when you kind of break shit down like that. Blank. So do you believe?
I'm not sure what they're asking. Do we
sure.
believe what? So I don't know anything about this guy. I just heard of him.
Nobody does.
When he won the other day, I heard he's pretty communistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he wants Medicaid for all or Medicare for all, right? Now again, this guy was he has a medical license, okay? He's like a fucking doctor, right? But he wants the federal government involved. They sell it to you like, oh, like you're going to have healthcare for all, right? But fucking if you have any kind of government assistance or government healthcare, unless you're in like a fucking, you got VA fucking shit, it's garbage, right? Like it is, it's trash. But he wants everybody on that because if the government's sitting at the head of your medical, then it's easier for them to fucking squeeze you. So the next time the vaccine comes around and everybody's on medical, right? Well, do you want to keep your medical? Because unless you get this vaccine, you're going to hurt yourself, and we don't want to pay for that, right? So you're basically going to be breaking the terms and conditions kind of shit. Like everything about this guy is fucking like nobody knows about him. He's coming out of nowhere. All these politicians are pushing him. I'm just saying, be aware that, and that's why I had you show the Google thing, right? Because we can see that there's no news. Nobody was talking about this guy, right? It's an artificial push now, and to watch it continue. Any good news? Yeah, there's always good news. You know, the things that are going to happen in the future, right? You got to understand that it's not something to fear, right? Even though there is dark, bleak shit that'll come, you can't be scared. You can't be afraid of it. You can't live your life, trying to, I don't know, fucking stick your head in the sand on it. You got to recognize what's coming down the pipe, right? And then you can prepare for it as best as you can, right? But eventually it's going that way. Everything pushes that way. But, if you believe in the Bible, you understand that when everything, yes, God will be with us. It actually says in the Bible, when the wrath is bestowed upon the earth, God's people, we're not going to get the part of the wrath, right? Like that's going to be for the people who take the mark. That's going to be the people who subjugate themselves to that. Understand that you can be a doctor or a lawyer in certain other countries without going to medical school or law school. Yes, but he's from the U.S. and he went to Oxford and Cambridge and fucking Columbia and fucking, like, you look at his fucking resume, and like they put him in the most prestigious of the prestige, so you can't question him. But the good news is you got to be aware of somebody like this so you can see them coming. You know what I mean? What if the mark is this? So the mark is, you have to take the mark willingly. The mark is a choice. The mark doesn't come until the Antichrist claims himself to be God, right? And then at that point, you have to take his mark to worship him. And you either choose to or you don't. But if you take that mark, it's game over. You get all the wrath, you get the plagues, you get a point where you want to die, but you can't. Like that's the mark. That's what these people are going for. Don't take the mark. Ever. And the mark will be a choice. It'll go on your right hand or it'll go on your forehead. You have to choose to accept it. It is God. That's what made man different than the angels. We got free will. The angels didn't. You know what I mean? They were jealous of that. What do you believe in Jesus? I do, yes. I believe in Jesus. Not everybody else may, but I do, and it's up to you to go and look, right? Like, I'm not going to push it on you. I will explain it, as I see it, through my understanding or whatever, but I'm not going to be like, that's the only way to look at it, right? Because I know that in the end time, right, the Antichrist fits, and that's why this guy's bloodline matters, okay? So the Antichrist has to tick certain boxes. For the Buddhist, he's the Maitreya, the person who brings in the fifth coming, right? With the Muslims, he's the Mahdi, right? And with the Jews, he's the Messiah, right? And the bloodlines have to interconnect, because while this is all going on, the Buddhists accept them, the Muslims accept them, the Jewish accept them, etc., right? And then the battle at the end, right? But the reason that it works is because of the bloodline, the lineage, right? Like the Jewish people and Christians will get tricked because he'll be tied to the Merovingian bloodline, right? But then he'll also have, I can't think of the name for the dude over in the Muslim side of the world, And he's going to tick all those boxes. And the more I'm looking at this guy, the more I'm seeing like boxes getting ticked. Maybe I'm wrong, and I could absolutely be wrong. I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I'm just calling out in the moment of what I see and how I see. And if all are fallen, how are we golden? Well, for us, uh, in my view, again, the whole concept of Jesus was the redemption, right? The Jewish people before Christ came did all the sacrificing, right? That's actually what they want brought back. They want their Messiah to come so that the temple can be rebuilt and that we can go back to the sacrifice. Like that's not me making up anything. That's not me being anything. That's their faith, right? Like that's how it works. So how we're golden in the Christian faith, that is the old school was that we did shit through sacrifices, right? Like Jewish people still do that when they put the sins of themselves and others into a chicken and they sacrifice it, right? I believe the devil is plural. There are many fallen angels. Satan appears in many forms, e.g., could be Trump, Fauci, this guy all at once. Yeah, well, there's like false prophets and things like that, right? There's people that will lead the way. And there's not just a antichrist, there is the spirit of antichrist. Like there's many antichrists. Like basically the people that lay the groundwork for the end days, right? And that give you the signs and things. So, but again, there's always a way out because you have free will,
Yeah, and it's just these guys are handpicked for these roles too. Uh, just it's a similar playbook to, like you said, Barack Obama and even Bill Clinton before that. Both
Yes.
come out of nowhere.
Yep.
And boom.
And then everybody sings them praise like they're the greatest thing ever and the most important thing in politics. And then, people jump to a side of an issue, right? If I make a statement, automatically, like the chat will break into, like probably two camps, right? On something controversial. Those who are for it, those who are against it. And that's all they do. They play us against each other. If the word ends tonight, when will the night end?
I think world. If the world ends tonight, when will the night end? I'm not sure if the night will end, but this podcast does have to end.
That's
so
right.
I want to know your final thoughts on Abdul El Siad, or however the hell you say his name.
My final thoughts are exactly that. Keep an eye on him and watch how he gets thrusted from nobody knew who the fuck this guy was. You can't find information on him in Google, right? And now watch how he is going to fucking become, like the epiphany of the fucking Democratic Party, right? Like he will be their big boy. It'll be like him and AOC, I imagine. Word,
I guess
not world.
they do need word. Okay.
If the word ends tonight, when will the night end? I guess I still don't really understand what the question is on it. If the word
of God, is that what they mean? I don't know.
Well, the word of God wouldn't end tonight because it already tells you how it would have to. But we can always have a last or like a topic. You're more than welcome to reach out to me, JC Star. It's at Templar TV ER. I'm willing to talk to you in chat or something. And I'll try to answer any questions that you have. But like Snoop said, we do got to end the stream. So make sure that you guys check out the Phone Booth Podcast.substack.com. There's a lot of content there, dude. There's tons of free content. There's all kinds of podcasts in there, dude, right? Like there's good stuff. And then we also have, like if you want to support it, you can go buy a shirt or a coffee cup or a sticker. But it's not required, right? But if you want to go see The Philosopher King, if you want to see Mind of Madness, if you want to see The Pick Is In, if you want to see Here's the Thing, this is where you want to go, right? And this also has all the past episodes. So if you wanted to go back and look at like all the phone booth shows from episode 1 to where we are today, you can do this here on the Substack. If you want to watch all the Pick Is In, you can do that. If you want to watch all the mainstream Mondays, you can do that. It's all centralized and it's all available to you.
You know what?
And
Hey, real quick, I want to spend a special shout out to Bill and Ted. Congratulations on 156 episodes. 3 years.
Is that what it is?
3 years they started this podcast. That's one a week for 3 years. Congratulations, boys, on 3 years. Let's go for another million years. You know?
Hell yeah, dude.
Pretty
what a
damn
team, dude.
amazing. And also, go check out Can-Am Bullion. Ooh, look. Silver's down a little bit, 0.86%. And gold is still climbing at 0.34%. But yeah, check out all the precious metals and, talk to Michael Pincioni if you got a big order, you want to, work a deal out with him. He's more than happy to help you out.
Or if you just want to understand the market a little bit more.
Yeah, it comes to you shipped safe and discreet. And pretty good. He's a truther too. So, if you're in the truther community, this is the kind of guy you want to spend your money with. So,
and the fact that he's back, he's supporting, the phone booth guys, which is fucking awesome, right? Like, even that, it's like, if you're gonna do business in precious metals, give him a shot, because he's the same guy who's fucking giving everybody over here a shot, right? So fucking appreciate it.
Yep. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight on Mainstream Monday. We'll see you next Monday with a whole bunch more to talk about. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And
thank you, Blue. Thank you, JC. Thank you, Cram. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan Bueller, everybody, Shiva.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
All right. Good night, everybody.